So picture this. You've been waiting for months, maybe longer, for your favorite artist to announce a tour. You've got the date saved in your calendar, you've set 3 alarms on your phone, you've told your friends you're going, you've basically already planned the entire night in your head. The outfit, the set list, the moment when they play that song and you lose your mind along with 10,000 other people who feel exactly the same way you do. And then the ticket sale opens. And you're in the queue. Refreshing. Waiting. The little spinning wheel just spinning. And then, finally, you get through. You find tickets. And you see the price, and your stomach just drops. Because somehow, a concert that was advertised at $75 a ticket is now showing $210, $340, sometimes $500 before you've even had a chance to blink. And you think, okay, maybe those are resale tickets, right? Maybe some scalper got in early and is already flipping them. So you go back, you look for the official tickets, and they're not there anymore. They're gone. Sold out. In minutes. Sometimes seconds. And you're left sitting there, genuinely confused, wondering, where did all the tickets go? My name is Nick, and I spend way too much time thinking about money, systems, and the invisible machinery that quietly shapes how we spend it. Why some industries seem to exist almost entirely to extract as much from you as possible while making you feel like you're the one who got lucky when you hand over your credit card. I've gone down a lot of rabbit holes. Corporate pricing strategies, psychological manipulation in retail, the hidden economics of the entertainment industry, and the Ticketmaster rabbit hole? Honestly, it's one of the deepest ones I've ever fallen into. Because what's actually happening when you can't get tickets, when they vanish in seconds and then reappear on StubHub or Ticketmaster's own resale platform for 3 times the price, is not just bad luck. It's not just bots. It's not just scalpers working against the system. In a lot of ways, it is the system. And by the end of this, you're going to look at that little Get Tickets button very differently. You're going to understand why these prices feel insane, why nothing ever seems to change, and, maybe most importantly, why the company selling you the ticket is often also the company cashing in when you pay double for it. Let's get into it. To really understand how Ticketmaster operates today, you have to understand what it actually is. Because most people, I think, still picture it as just a ticket-selling website. Like a middleman. A boring but necessary part of the concert-going experience. But Ticketmaster isn't really a middleman anymore. It hasn't been for a long time. In 2010, Ticketmaster merged with Live Nation, the largest concert promoter in the world. And that merger created something kind of extraordinary in terms of how much control one company could hold over an entire industry. Think about it this way. Live Nation promotes and produces the concerts. They're the ones signing deals with artists, booking venues, organizing tours. Ticketmaster sells the tickets to those concerts. And then Live Nation also owns or operates a huge number of the venues where those concerts happen. Artists often sign management deals connected to the same corporate umbrella. And then when those tickets inevitably end up on the resale market, they often land on platforms that Ticketmaster and Live Nation have a financial stake in. So you've got one company that, basically controls every single step of the live entertainment experience. From the moment an artist decides to tour, to the moment you scan your ticket at the door, to the moment someone resells that ticket for a profit, Live Nation Entertainment is touching it. The Department of Justice actually tried to block that merger back in 2010. They had real concerns about monopolistic behavior. But ultimately the merger went through with some conditions attached. Conditions that, as we'll see, didn't really hold up the way regulators hoped they would. And here's why that matters to you. Sitting at home trying to buy tickets. When one company controls the entire pipeline, there's very little competitive pressure to keep prices reasonable, to crack down on bots, to make the experience fair. Because, honestly, where are you going to go? If you want to see Taylor Swift or Beyoncé or your favorite band at a Live Nation venue, you're going through Ticketmaster. You don't have a choice. And companies without competition don't have a lot of incentive to treat customers well. That's the foundation. Everything that comes after it makes more sense once you understand that. Okay, let's talk about fees, because this is where the resentment usually starts. You find tickets that are listed at, say, $89. Fine. That's steep but okay. And then you get to checkout and somehow the total is $137. And there's this itemized list of charges that feels almost intentionally confusing. A service fee, a facility charge, an order processing fee, sometimes even an insurance upsell bundled in there. Where is all that money going? Here's what most people don't realize. Those fees aren't just Ticketmaster padding the bill. They're also, and this is the interesting part, often hidden revenue sharing between Ticketmaster and the venues or promoters. When a venue charges you a facility fee, part of that can flow back to the venue operator. When Ticketmaster charges a service fee, there are often contractual agreements about how that money gets split with the promoter. So the face value of the ticket, that $89 you see advertised, is almost a kind of fiction. A headline price designed to look accessible. The real price was always going to be $137, or $150, or $170. The fees aren't incidental. They're built into the business model. And here's the really clever part. By separating the face value from the fees, Ticketmaster and venues can each claim they're not the bad guy. The venue can say, "We kept ticket prices low." Ticketmaster can say, "We're just a service platform." But together, they're taking a cut that, in some cases, represents 30 to 50% of what you actually pay. There was actually a class action lawsuit, settled in 2003, where Ticketmaster admitted to misleading consumers about the nature of its fees. And what changed? Mostly nothing. The fee structure continued. It evolved. It got more elaborate, honestly. And this is where a subtle psychological trick comes in. Research in behavioral economics shows something called drip pricing, where you're shown an attractive initial price and then fees are gradually added as you move through the checkout process. By the time you're staring at the real total, you've already invested time and emotional energy into the purchase. You've already decided you're going to this concert. You've already told your friend. The sunk cost of the whole experience means you're far more likely to just accept the final price rather than walk away. Ticketmaster's checkout process is, whether intentionally or not, almost a textbook example of this. And they know exactly what they're doing. After the disaster of Taylor Swift's Eras Tour presale in November 2022, when the Ticketmaster website essentially collapsed under demand, millions of fans were locked out, and the whole thing became a national news story and a Senate hearing. Ticketmaster pointed to something called verified fan as their solution to ticket scalping and bot activity. The idea sounds fair on the surface. You register in advance, Ticketmaster verifies that you're a real human fan, and then only verified fans can access the presale. No bots. No scalpers. Just real people who actually love the artist. Except, it doesn't quite work that way. For starters, verified fan registration doesn't guarantee you tickets. It grants you access to a presale lottery. Ticketmaster decides how many people get a presale code, and the selection process is, and this is me being generous, not exactly transparent. Millions of fans register. A fraction receive codes. And there's no clear public explanation of how those codes are distributed. But here's where it gets genuinely weird. Artists and their management teams can allocate tickets from the general pool to fan clubs, VIP packages, corporate sponsors, credit card companies, and various presale partners before the verified fan presale even starts. So by the time the fans who went through the whole verified fan process actually get to shop, a significant chunk of the best tickets is already gone. The Atlantic and other outlets have reported on how, for major tours, sometimes 30 to 40% or more of tickets never make it to the general public at all. They're pre-allocated. To radio stations, to sponsors, to Ticketmaster's own preferred partners, some of whom operate in the resale space. And then, and this is the part that made me genuinely stop and stare at my screen when I first read it, Ticketmaster runs its own resale platform. It's called Ticketmaster Fan to Fan, or it operates under various branded names. And when those pre-allocated tickets end up being resold at inflated prices on the open market, Ticketmaster often collects fees on those transactions too. So the same company that couldn't get you a ticket at face value is now facilitating the resale of that ticket at 2 or 3 times the price. And taking a percentage of that sale as well. That's not a middleman. That's a toll booth on every road out of town.